What do you say? We need to change that music because it's very, it's sad. It makes me sad. And this is not a sad podcast.
It makes me want to take my clothes off.
It does?
It makes me think brown.
It does?
It does.
That's not.
Do you remember Silk Stockings?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes, that's the soundtrack.
yes.
Yes. So that's specifically like Skinamax style. Yeah.
I was an extra on that show.
You would be.
I
This is Laura Kane After Dark,
Hi,
by
how's
the
it going,
way.
guys?
Hello.
Thanks for tuning in.
That's Nick. He is our special guest co-host.
Oh my God. Hi,
Of your
Nick.
podcast.
Nick Pagliochini. He does traffic reports in Los Angeles on the biggest station there is, Coast, and on KFI.
Yes.
And here's Erik Rimmer, my
And
co-host.
I do traffic on nothing.
And
For Lemon Grove off the 94.
Totally.
Where Erik does it.
so I talked about my new little guy that I like, Alfie.
I love that he's 6'3" and he's your new little guy.
Well, what else do I call him? What should I call him at this point? He's
I
not
don't-
my
your main
boyfriend yet.
squeeze?
He's not
Can we
my
be
main-
like 90 years old and call him your main squeeze?
Not
Shucks,
yet.
Laura.
Not
Call
yet.
him. Just call him your friend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, this is a text I just got
Oh,
from
good.
him.
Okay.
Funny story. My mom is a huge KFI listener as well and listens to your guests from tonight every morning. Ha ha ha. She's been listening to your podcast recently as well.
Oh no!
I love the
oh
terror
no!
that set it
Oh
Oh my
no!
God. Oh no.
Oh my gosh! I'm starting to pee a little bit. Wait,
That's awesome.
how far back has she been listening?
I don't know. I don't want to know.
Oh my God!
I don't want to know.
Wait, so is that really how you guys met? Is because she's been listening and she like is setting you up? Maybe
Alfie?
Alfie's mom.
No, we met at a restaurant.
No, I know, but like, wouldn't it be crazy if it was Kismet and it was actually his mom listening to the podcast? That was like, oh, you should talk to this chick.
I swear.
Hi, Alfie's mom.
Oh, get this.
Yeah, what is Alfie's mom's name?
I don't know.
Hi,
Alfie, what's your mom's name?
Hi,
I
Alfie's
don't know.
mom.
But
Okay.
he was in Vegas over the weekend. And when I was driving up to my mom's house, I was like, he doesn't like to gamble. I'm like, please, oh, please do the roulette wheel because I have a number that is coming to my head and I need you to put money down on it. So he's like, all right. The number was 4 because that's the date we went out for the first time.
Oh,
It hit. What about
I bet
that?
it did.
What about that? I'm like, let's think about this for a minute. How cool. Hello, something's going on here. Is it just me? Probably. It's just me.
well, just for
that's thinking
now.
like this.
It's not for you. It's not just you for the long run, but right now, well, like we talked about in last episode, specifically, enjoy the butterflies.
Right. I'm going to.
Great. Like,
and I am.
just don't put the horse before the cart. Yeah.
I, you know what?
No,
Until
cart
those-
before the horse.
Until those butterflies turn into a bunch of crows.
No.
Nope.
What I've decided
A
is
murder. All right.
no expectations at all will I
One
have.
day at a time.
Yeah, and no, I'm not going to, no expectations,
Right.
and therefore I won't
Right.
be disappointed.
Right.
Okay. Before we get into our host chats, let's talk about Barry's Hair and Sweetums Wipes, our awesome sponsors.
Are you looking for a new hairdresser?
on
Well,
your head.
good. Barry's Hair joins the podcast. She's been doing my hair for years. Barry is an artist who specializes in short cuts, amazing color, updos, braids, weddings, and she makes house calls for those special occasions. Find Barry's Hair on Facebook and Instagram. Mention the podcast. You'll get 15% off your services. New sponsor on the podcast is Sweetums Wipes, the intimate wipes with flavor. Cinnabon, pina colada, and mango, just to name a few. Perfect for a daily refresh or for spicing things up. Dr. Elisa invented these, and they are pH balanced and non-sticky. Get Sweetums Wipes on Amazon or at sweetumswipes.com.
And you can get them on our Amazon store. The link is on our bio in Instagram and Facebook. And I'm going to see Barry tomorrow, Friday. And I'm excited.
For the hair on your head.
Yes, and my mom's like, "Don't make it blonder." I'm like, "I'm going blonder." I
No,
feel yes,
I
I am.
told you
I
not
am.
to.
I am.
Why don't you
I
ever
have
listen
to.
to me?
I'm feeling a little depressed.
Would you listen to your work husband for 1 second?
I did listen to you when you told me what to wear on my date,
Yes.
and it worked out great. So thank you.
You're welcome.
But with the hair, I just feel
No.
like I have black roots.
No.
and I need a little brightening up.
How long
about
have you
that?
two been married?
I know
We've been married for a
so
long time.
for like 15 years.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We jumped into it with both feet like fast.
Yeah.
I'm impressed. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes.
So now it's time for my host chat, Laura's host chat. It's very exciting. This time with a special guest. I'm going to call her because it's about this person.
Okay.
Okay. I'm very excited, and this is really cool. Let's see. Will you bring up the Bluetooth? Thank you, Daniel. Wait, it's not ringing. Let's Let's see if I'm connected. Hold
Technology
on.
is the best.
I know.
No,
you know
no.
what?
No, you're fine.
Oh, the Bluetooth is on. I need to be connected to the Roadcaster. Oh, no, Evan. There we go. Oh, now you know who it is. It's Evan. But I have something cool to tell you.
Okay, got it. I was like, who's Evan?
How come this all of a sudden?
Evan. Who's Evan? Is that Alfie's no competition?
Okay, now it's not letting me. Why isn't it?
Okay, how about you troubleshoot that and I'll do my chit chat? Yeah?
Thank you.
You got it. So the thing that I want to talk about is, I don't know, a month ago, maybe? Victoria's Secret, which is one of my absolute favorite brands. And always has been. And I love the Victoria's Secret fashion show every holiday season. I'm sorry. I may more.
I like it too.
Yeah, but I was going to say, I may identify as a gay man, but yeah, that was like, who
Do
doesn't
you
want to
love
see
women's
people?
bodies?
I do very much so. I enjoy them in hands-on and not like, but so I was very disappointed when the Victoria's Secret fashion show was canceled. I understand we're in a very different era. We're in a different world. That just doesn't fit the branding anymore. But what does fit the branding is gender-neutral clothing at Victoria's Secret. And I'm a little disappointed that I didn't bring it for show and tell, but I actually bought my own gender-neutral clothes. So I got a pair of shorts from the Pink collection, their athletic line.
How fun.
And a hoodie. And they're both in burnout material. So, which is funny
Okay.
because
What's burnout material?
it's that like somewhat see-through.
Yeah, like
Oh.
kind
Thin.
of.
It's very soft. And
Oh, yeah.
So you can like, a little nip slip.
Where
through
does
the-
it say
Oh.
pink?
The pink is across my breasticles. Mm-hmm. And then the on the shorts is on the leg.
How do you feel wearing it?
It's legit. Every man's gym clothes should be made out of this material. I'll tell you that much. I mean, maybe the fashion part of it, whatever. But like, I mean, it was fun. It literally was a dare from KFI. So they're like, "Oh, you'd never do that." I'm like, "I'm already ordering it."
Oh, wow.
So anyway,
Oh, that's cool. I
so,
love
so I will
that.
definitely, that'll be on Instagram sometime soon. But yeah, so I was really excited because it's nice when a brand puts its money where its mouth is.
Big
and
time.
says we're going to try something, even if it totally crashes and burns, which is very possible. But I was like, I know I will enjoy wearing this to the gym.
And you have no shame. And,
No,
and
I have
you're
none,
None
so.
of that. I think that's great. I figured it out. Or do you want to go next? Or you want me to go? Okay. So something very cool is happening on May 29th, and it involves this young lady. You can turn it up now.
This young lady that's your
That's my
Hello.
Evan
child.
Elizabeth.
Hi.
Hi, beauty. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Did you finish your homework tonight?
No.
Evan, you need to because you have to go to bed early. None of this going to bed late stuff.
Here, let me
I
try.
know.
Evan Elizabeth, finish your homework and go to bed.
Oh,
How does
that'll
Butch does
get
Uncle
me.
Erik
See,
sound?
look at that. Did you see that?
Okay, so Evan wants to be on Broadway someday. She's a singer, she loves it, theater, and she is the newest student at Fordham University in New York City. She just got her official
Yay.
sweatshirt, and it's very exciting. Evan, I'm so proud of
Congrats,
you,
kid.
and you're going to be great. But something even more exciting is happening. Evan, tell them about Broadway San Diego.
Okay, so basically, I was nominated by my drama teacher for the show I did, which was Frozen, and I was Anna in Frozen. Oops, I should know that. And so she nominated me for Broadway San Diego. So from there, I had to send 2 songs in videos of me singing songs to Broadway San Diego Awards. And then from there, they invited me to a callback, which was in person, which was like 2 weekends ago or like last weekend or something. And I went in and I sang those same 2 songs like with them in person. We talked a little bit after, and then I got the email that I was part of the top 20, which means, and there's 10 girls and 10 guys. So I'm nominated for Best Actress from Broadway San Diego. And there's 2 winners of Broadway San Diego. There's 1 girl and 1 guy. And if you win, so if I win out of those 10 girls, you get to go to the Jimmy Awards in New York, which is National High School Musical Theater Awards, which is like
this is like big. It's like the precursor to Broadway, pretty much. The Jimmy
it's
Awards.
like, yeah, it's really, really, really exciting. So I'm so happy.
Oh my god! And
my God, Evan!
I'll show you the picture of her with the other girls. Now they all are pretty girls. I don't know what the guys look like because I only have the girls' pictures. But I'm telling you what,
I'm just being.
I'm being a mom. I know, but you tell me, she stands out like crazy. I'm like, Evan, you jump off that page. There it
Evan,
is.
you really do have a great
Oh
smile.
yeah,
Do you
that's
see
the
that?
first thing I noticed when I saw that.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like, do you see? Do you
Well,
know-
yeah, you're also like dead center.
I know.
Yeah.
But that's true.
I mean, no, but I'm just saying, no, Evan, your smile is absolutely. You don't know who I am, but that's fine.
That's Nick, by the way.
This sounds like some creepy old man talking to
I
you,
know
but
you in my heart. Okay.
no, you really do have a stunning smile. So
I mean, so if you want to go cheer her on, she's going to be performing with all these girls and all these guys. It's on May 29th. It's at the Horton Theater downtown, I think, and it's on Ticketmaster.
Balboa Theater.
Oh, Balboa Theater. Oops. But let me know, and I'll send you the ticket link. They're like $16, and we can be Evan's cheering section.
Wait, when is it?
May 29th. That's a Sunday.
What time?
6.
Oh, I could go.
Oh my God, she would die. I'm taking Maggie.
Oh, we're going.
Okay.
No way.
Yeah, I'm going. I'll be there.
We'll get you tickets
Okay.
if you're serious.
Yeah, I'll be
okay.
there.
Okay, great. Thank you, Evan. I'm so proud of you for many, many reasons, but this is big.
Thank you. I love you.
I love you too, beauty.
Love you, Evan.
Bye.
Love you, all of you. Mwah. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Isn't that so cool?
Oh my God, that's
She's
awesome.
worked so hard this year. I mean, it's been a hard year, and she's still working so hard on homework. I'm like,
She is.
She should be able to be a senior now and
I'd
do
be
like
out toilet papering somebody's house right
Right?
now. Yeah.
I know she's.
I mean, we just talked to her on the phone. We don't know if she's not, but
Not what doing homework.
out to toilet
True,
papering.
true. Because she's not under my roof right,
Right,
now, so I don't
exactly.
know.
You're
Anyway.
fine. You're not a crazy. No, are you a helicopter mom
No,
with either of them?
never have been.
Okay.
In fact, I quite the opposite. I've never really
Free range
been.
parenting.
No, I've never really been the kind that like is super involved in their school. And I kind of wish I had been more involved in their school, like maybe been in the PTA or something, but I just wasn't my jam, you know? I don't know. So there's that. Erik,
Yes.
host chat. Eric's host chat. What's up?
I like that something. Well, along the lines of Victoria's Secret,
Victor's Secret. Victor's Secret.
Well, no, maybe it should be.
Okay.
I'm not exactly sure what's going on right now in the world of fashion. Oh God, what the hell? I would like you to look at this.
Oh,
Oh, I know where to get those, by the way.
What?
I feel like
Why?
I should make them. No.
Why?
They're shorts with
The butt cut out.
the
But
butt
the
cut
pockets out.
Yeah,
Isn't
the
it the
pockets
back
are gone.
pockets? That's
There's
what's,
a piece of fabric that covers your butthole.
so it's
and
G
that's
string. Hypothetically, a
You
very
know-
fat, like stylized G string.
Okay.
The website Shein,
Oh yeah.
that's where you can find
Oh
those.
my God.
Interesting.
Well, these
Okay,
are at
hold on.
Nordstrom.
What?
Nordstrom.
You're kidding.
No, I wish I was.
You're kidding. No way. That's not their style.
Well, it is
I
now.
thought that's what
It's
said
not
on the-
Nordstrom Rack.
Allegedly. Maybe it is the rack.
Oh my God.
But I'm having a huge problem with side boob, under. I had a client that came in today that had massive under boob. And I'm like, why is that sexy? I don't want to see
because you're
your
a
jugs.
gay man, you probably don't think it's sexy.
No, but why? Why? It just looks like cheek leak on the top.
Daniel, do you have a comment on this?
Daniel, do you think that's sexy?
Like to
Okay.
see like the
Underboob?
hangy
Is it
underboob.
like? Is it hot?
I'm not particularly into it. I think side boob is a little more
Is it like a peekaboo situation?
Sexy?
alluring, you know?
Oh, alluring. Okay.
The underboob kind of it's like it should be, but it comes off sloppy. Like it's hard to make it look purposeful, and I think
Yeah.
that's part of what makes it not look stylish or elegant or really even that appealing.
It literally looks like you should be carrying a pot-bellied pig under one arm and like a six-pack under the other.
So it's Green Acres. Is that what you're saying? This is Green Acres
Kind of
situation.
like it.
How do you feel about nipples?
No, I don't want to see nipples either.
Men or women?
Well,
I do like nipples. So
You
I'll
do?
add that,
Do you
yeah.
think it's is it distracting? Because I've been not wearing a bra a lot lately because I just got a boob job and it's so fun not to wear a bra because I don't have to. But there's the nipple situation.
yeah. Well, hey, do you remember? So the Farrah Fawcett poster was kind of conservative, except
Yeah.
for the nips.
Yeah.
Like the
Which were
hard
covered.
nips.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. But everybody bought the poster because of the nips.
Sure.
Is that okay to like walk into Michael's with the nips?
Well, I don't think it would be great to walk into like
Hobby
a church
Lobby.
service or something.
Hobby
Hobby
Lobby.
Lobby.
Into
Oh my
Hobby
God.
Lobby.
Hobby Lobby.
Would
Oh
throw me out.
my God, they would
Are you
really
kidding?
throw you out.
Oh my God.
Or into like some sort of a Sunday school event with big old hard nips. I
Yeah.
don't think
Well.
that would-
Yeah.
But do you remember the movie The Deep with Jacqueline Bisset?
No.
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So do you know the only reason people went and saw that movie was because she wore a wet T-shirt the entire time and had hard nips the entire time.
Really?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
So let me tell you, before I walk into an event, I just pinch mine really hard and walk
I
in.
taped my nips down tonight because I was wearing a tight shirt before I put this one on, and my nips were showing. So I used fashion tape and I taped my nip down.
See, I can't tape my nip. My nips are always hard though.
Okay. So are mine, and I was able to do it. You
No.
would be able to do it, but it hurts.
I see from the peanut gallery that nobody was interested in that.
Okay.
I was wondering if you, the taping thing.
I was wondering if you
No.
would show me, Laura.
No, it just
Yeah.
it reminds me of this scene in the movie Gummo where these girls are putting it on and pulling it off to try to make them puffy. So it's like
Oh yeah, it
Just
doesn't.
some puffy.
just as long as you're just doing it to conceal them. For
Yes, I'm not doing anything kinky like that.
Well,
No.
at least not now.
No,
Don't do anything from the movie Gummo. It's,
I don't think I'll ever see that, movie.
was so.
It doesn't sound like anything I'd ever want to see.
It was based on who? That
Satan, I think.
no, on that guy who wrote did the cartoons. I think. I don't
I'll
remember.
look
who
it up.
Yeah.
Okay. Now
So I just have a problem with it. I would like to know why underboob is a thing now.
is acceptable.
Yeah. Because
Well-
I don't think it is. I also don't like to see the cheek leak, where girls wear these
Oh, but see, sometimes the thigh is good.
thigh.
Yeah, where your butt meets your thigh. The
Oh
thigh.
no!
Is it
that's
ever
like,
good?
No, that's
It
like
depends.
ankles.
This is
Oh
what I wish Kree were
my
here.
God!
I know. Kree.
I was
We,
like,
okay.
I can't wait to get Kree's feel on this because I'm like, no, I need you over here. Okay.
Okay, I got to tell you the most.
Harmony Korine was the director of Gummo.
Oh.
That's probably who you're thinking.
Maybe, yeah.
Possibly.
I saw. I have a thing about teeth and feet, right?
What
I
is this, a
s-
fetish? Wait,
No,
no.
no,
Tell
it
me
is
about what
not.
you're
He's a
thinking.
freak about
No,
teeth
it's-
falling out.
Like if I see somebody get a tooth knocked out, all for sure. So on Judge Judy last night,
Yeah.
they had a guy that was a defendant, and he had one tooth. I had to turn it off
Really?
because it just in his entire mouth there was one tooth. On the top, it was the front tooth, right one. Every other tooth was gone. I was like, "You're
How does
on.
he eat?
You're on national. I don't know.
He uses it like a chopstick.
You know what?
He
He
just,
doesn't
like,
must not
harpoons
get
it.
any respect. Like you can't
sure.
get respect with one tooth.
I was like, but I had to turn it off. I couldn't even watch it. Then, during the day yesterday, I had to run over to DSW, which was a huge mistake. Not that I needed a pair of shoes. I just wanted to look. There was a guy with flip-flops on that had like ballerina toes.
Oh, like
Black and
hammer
blue?
toe like thing?
Ooh.
Oh.
Oh my God, where they were all crisscrossed over each other. It looked like he actually had 3 toes versus 5. Like
Oh.
I totally panicked and had to leave. So twice yesterday I had my worst.
Did you have your blood pressure cuff with you?
I didn't. It probably would have been at stroke level.
Okay, we have a
Yeah.
very,
Do you
very.
have a blood pressure cough?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he has to do it like 4 times a day
Oh,
because
has to do it.
Yeah,
I thought
to
you were
check
like a
it.
hypochondriac.
No,
Oh,
no.
okay. All right.
this
no,
is his
not at
new
all.
thing the doctor wants him to do
Okay.
because he's
Well, let
not-
it slide.
Yeah.
Great.
Until the doctor says stop and you keep doing it.
Yeah, that'll. Well, it barely happens now, but sorry.
So
if my
we've
doctor's
had
listening.
Cree rushing on our
Oh,
show. I
man.
think it was a year ago, probably
I
about a year
love
ago.
Kree.
And we've seen him perform a couple times. He is funny. We love him. He's a great person. So Nick, if you would switch seats.
Yes, I will be
with
glad
Kree,
to.
And Kree, come on over. Join the table here. And Nick, don't be shy. You be on the mic. Okay.
He was on with us last year. He was hilarious.
Oh my God. Kree rushing.
Hi, Kree.
Hey.
What is up? How are you?
Hey,
You're very soft spoken.
hey, I'm just hanging out like snot trying to get what you got. You know what I'm talking about? That's it.
So tell us what's been going on since the year you've been
man.
on. What have you been doing?
Man, what haven't I been doing? Just staying busy, staying productive, and just working on my craft. Lots of shows. Been doing a lot of stuff at the Laugh Factory. They got a new Laugh Factory in San Diego.
Where?
So,
Where is it?
off of 5th Street. So right where it's like 5th and E, I believe.
Oh,
5th and E.
yes.
Yeah,
That's
right there on the
cool.
corner. Yeah. So it's brand new and just been doing a lot of good stuff there. I just recently did a show with Tommy Davidson. So that was cool.
We know
Yeah,
Tommy.
Did you
legend.
open for him or did you?
Yes.
I hosted the whole gig.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Hosted the whole
Congratulations.
gig. Thank
That's
you,
awesome.
thank
He's
you.
a great guy.
Man, I used to get in trouble for watching him. So it was just like seeing that full circle. It's like, man, look at this.
Yeah.
Right here, the legend,
God, that's
was
awesome.
awesome.
So, what's the biggest show you've played in the last year? Do you think that one?
That's a tough one because all of them have different sentimental value. Because I just recently did one with Teddy Ray and Louis Belt. Shout out to them. I've been watching these guys for quite some time, and they actually came down to San Diego and they did a show, and they asked me to host personally. They found my my Instagram, and they were like, "Okay, we like what you're doing. We've been watching your stuff as well." And so to see that my stuff is getting in the hands of the people that I watch, that means like it's right there.
That is
It's like
sweet.
right there.
Oh, yeah.
So it's different shows have been inspiring for different reasons. So I have to say the top two would have to be Tommy Davidson and the Teddy Ray and Louis Belt show.
What do you have coming up?
Oh man, I'm taking a little break right now. My sister's graduating from Virginia State. Shout out my sister Gabrielle.
Oh,
hey,
nice.
Gabrielle,
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
So we taking some time. We're going out there and we're going to be out there for a little while. But when I come back, I'm going to be working on my own production of a couple shows, more towards North County. North County's kind of been shaking a little bit with the comedy scene. There hasn't been many people doing shows out there, or if they have, they haven't been big productions. It's like, mom and pop barbershop type shows. So I've just been looking at a couple theaters. I did one recently at Fallbrook Theater. We like that, so we might be returning there. But as far as on the calendar, there's nothing coming up just yet. We kind of just taking time to regroup.
Is this your only job? Like, is this how you're making a living?
Oh no, I'm all over the place, man. I'm still doing hair. I'm still.
Oh, that's right. You do hair.
Remember that? Yeah. The braids, the fades, all
man.
that good stuff. But for the most part, comedy is taking the big chunk. Comedy is taking the big
awesome.
chunk. So it's a lot better because before I was doing like 13 jobs the last year. So now we narrowed it down to like 2.
Good. Oh my God, that's great.
So, but at the same time, I will have to say that I thought that less work meant better. But this year, I've been working harder, and it's better. Things have been harder now, but they're better. So it's like, for anybody that's listening, that's a common misconception. We always think that less work means better, or that, less adversity or, objects in the way is better. But now I have more things that I'm having to, kind of figure it out and sidestep and figure out how to move and overcome things. But it's better. Things are better.
What I know.
Yeah.
What would be your ultimate, what's your goal? What's your dream?
The dream is I want to get to where it's my own. I want my own studio. I want my own studio. That way I can start helping other comedians, bring their dreams to life. So if somebody has a movie idea or somebody has a skit idea, we have the resources to make that happen for that person.
Like a movie studio or
I want to be able to do it all, from movies, to even simple skits, or even, let's say somebody needs something as simple as a photo shoot done, to where we can do that. But I want just to be able to do everything independent. I don't want to have to keep trying to outsource or go to somewhere else or having to always abide by somebody else's rules, because your hours may be from 10 to 6. What about that great idea I have at 7:30? You know what I'm saying? What about that, man? Because that's when you get to set your own rules and you get to kind of navigate your own way, your potential is limitless. You're not putting any boundaries on yourself. So that's the goal, man. The goal is my own production company / production studio where I could just start to not only do things for myself, but I can bring on other comedians. Because as I've been doing this, I meet other comedians, but I don't have the resources to help them just yet. So it's like I kind of keep them in the back of my mind. It's like, okay, this person would be awesome as this character, or this person would be awesome.
That's nice that you're a comedian, but you're helping other comedians. That you're giving back.
That's the only way you're gonna make it. That's the only way you're gonna make it. If you're selfish about anything in life, you're not gonna get. I'm a firm believer if you get what you put out. I'm a firm believer of that, and I'm a firm believer that I've only gotten to where I've gotten to because I've showed so much love and I've sown into other people. Because if you were to ask me, I'll be 31 on the 14th. If you was to ask me that if I was to ever, I'll even say at age 15 to make it to 31 from the neighborhood I lived in and the things I was going through, I would have never guessed that I would be where I'm at today, even just to be alive. So, but I can also say that I firmly believe that I am alive because of the good that I've sown into people, because of the love that I've given them, being genuine, being sincere, not having hidden agendas, and if I have anything, it could be if I have a sandwich and you're hungry, then guess what? I got half of a sandwich for you, even if it's not much, just to be able to give. So I'm a firm believer that if you keep doing that, the bigger that you give, the bigger the return. The more that you give, because I've given a little bit and I've gotten a lot back. So now what's going to happen when I give even more? I give something big. Now that's going to be returned. And how do you want to be remembered? I don't want anybody to be able to say anything negative. Now, of course, you're going to have trolls. You're going to have all of that. But for the most part, how do you want to be remembered? Do you want to be that person that when they mention your name, like, what did you guys just say? Oh, Kree, we love Kree. You get what I'm saying? I want that reaction all the time. I want that from people. But how do you get it? Have
you always been this way, or did something happen? What changed?
It's just, what? You start to come to the conclusion of tomorrow isn't promised and nothing is guaranteed. And if we started thinking like that more, we would value the little things. Just the fact that you make it off the freeway safely, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Every day, there's a crash on that 805. It never fails every day, and it could easily be one of us. My Corolla isn't invincible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So with that being said, man, it's just as I started to get older and I seen people around me in not just past, like, I don't want you to think it's just all, urban gang banging. Like, no, it like people having heart conditions that we thought were healthy, that looked good on the outside. And the next thing you know, bam, they've been dealing with heart issues since, the womb, and we don't know. And so, I've had that happen. I've lost a good amount of people where it's just like, you know what? I'm not going to continue to let little things get me down or let certain things get in my way of being grateful. I read somewhere, I can't remember where I read it, but it said gratitude and basically negativity cannot live in the same house.
Agree with
so
that.
So if you're grateful, you can't the negative thoughts and things like that can't live there either. So it's just like counting the blessings and trying to be better. Now, was I always like this? To answer your question, no. I was a very negative Nancy at one point, but that's because I was a product of my environment, not my imagination. Instead of thinking of what I could be and what I could see and what I could do. Because now it's funny, man. I used to look at the Laugh Factory like that was the holy grail. It's like everybody's there. Dave's there. Kevin's there. Everybody's there. And now to the point where not only am I performing there, but first name basis with the GMs and the people that are there. So it's like when you're a product of your imagination, your potential is endless.
Have you always been funny?
Yes.
You're a funny kid?
Yes. Definitely a little prankster as a baby, as a kid. And I like the fact that looking back, I know, because now if I see those traits in other kids, I'll know where to be able to put them or where to direct them.
Yes.
Because it's not just the studio. I also want to have a youth center someday. I want to be able to do something like that where kids can now, that same kid that's getting into trouble may just need an outlet. He may be a videographer, but he has no video camera to practice on.
Right.
So how do you know that that's his gift when nobody left him an outlet to express it or to find it? So now it was like a lot of the stuff that, not saying I would get into trouble, but my imagination was always at work. My imagination was always at work. And so with that being said, it's like now that I can see that and notice it in other kids, now we can start to direct them and get them on the ball before. Because for me, comedy was an accident. I always wanted to do stand up, but I never knew how to start.
Yeah, like what was your first stand-up experience like?
I was 19 and I was at Maricosta College, and it was the first Black Student Union conference, and we had nothing ready. The food wasn't ready. Our keynote speaker wasn't there. Only thing set up was the microphone and speakers, and all the guests were on time. It was like 11 different schools. Everybody was there. All these kids was like entertainers. And so my sociology professor, shout out Dr. Bruce Hoskins, he goes, Kree, go up there and stall them. And I was just a roadie. I'm just helping plug in and pick up and move boxes. I wasn't nobody to be on stage. And I was like, me? What do I say? And he was like, just go up there. And I went up there and I did about 45 minutes of freestyle comedy, just stalling. And it went crazy. Like even now telling the story gives me goosebumps. It was amazing.
Wait, 45 minutes of just completely off the hook.
Off.
That's
the tongue.
amazing.
That's a lot
Off
of
the cuff
time.
is incredible.
A lot
Like
of
anyway,
time.
but 45 minutes, that is a massive amount of time to fill.
Yeah.
When you think of a joke, or I mean, are you always thinking about funny things?
Oh, yeah,
And
all
how
the
do you
time.
craft a stand-up? Like, how do you craft your?
I like to reach in personal experiences because that's what's real. That's what's going to get last, because you're not the only one to notice it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
You're not the only one to notice it. And half the time there's somebody that wants to say what you're going to say, but doesn't know how to say it, doesn't know how to get it out. So when you craft a joke that hits hard, like I talk about how dating is in doing like online dating is, you don't know what you're going to get, but everybody knows that feeling, because now that's what it's kind of moving towards. It's very rare when you meet somebody, because people are starting to learn less and less how to communicate with each other.
Yeah.
Except for on a screen.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
I done met plenty of people where it's like they didn't say nothing, and then next thing you know, you get a DM and it's like paragraphs. You're like, wait, what was all this?
Yeah.
I know.
When I could reach you,
True.
So now when I talk about stuff like that, people they see it and they get it, and it's just that's it. I'm very observant, and I just talk about the world around me.
Is there any comedy that you find that's not funny? Because I know there's comedians out there that people think are hilarious, and I'll tune in and see it, and I'm thinking, I don't get it. I don't get it. They're mean. They're so vulgar that it's almost...
You know what? I hear you. I definitely hear you, because I'm around all types of comedy where I'm like, bro, this footage is gonna come back to haunt you. Like this is one of the things. You're trying to get canceled. You're really trying to.
Yeah.
So there's some people who I don't get it, but at the same time, I don't know. I have a hard time shutting that down, because somewhere that you may not be aware, there's a dude in a basement in Moscow that loves it.
That
You know
thinks
what I'm
it's
saying?
the
That
best
thinks
thing,
it's the
yeah.
greatest. So it's like you can't always. It may not. I'll say it's just not for me.
Right.
But maybe there's a market for him somewhere, because I don't do that type of comedy. I can't. I did one dirty set in my stand up career, and when I listened to it played back, it made me cringe.
Oh,
I couldn't.
no.
But it got big laughs
It
though.
did?
But it wasn't me. It
Right.
wasn't
Okay,
me, and
you
I
gotta
was
be
like,
yourself.
man, I don't want this to be immortalized.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
want to be able to, because I know there's going to come a point in time when hearing myself, even at that moment, I didn't like hearing myself. But I'm like, as I get older, I'm definitely not going to want to hear myself talking like that.
Right.
I'm like, oh gosh, I was young. How do I explain
Yeah.
that to grandchildren? Like,
Yeah, for sure.
Granddaddy was trying to make it, So
What do you think about like a Netflix special? Do you think, is that something you want to do
you know what?
or strive for?
That's the goal, but I'm not waiting on it.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? That's the goal.
Yeah.
I say it all the time. I speak it into existence to myself. I say it so much. People think it's going to happen. I'm like, Netflix coming soon. They're like, oh, yeah, when you doing that? I'm like, I don't know. Just Netflix
That's
coming
cool.
soon.
I like that.
But at the same time, I'm not going to be one of those people that wait on Netflix, because if I have the resources to film my own special, guess what I'm going to do? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Kree flicks coming soon. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I'm going to do my own thing, because when you wait on others, you're going to that's exactly what you're going to do. You're going to be waiting.
Right.
My whole life I've had to kind of get things on my own. I've had to always, I'm talking 16, I switched schools by myself, for my mom's signature. Like, boom, I'm switching this school. I'm going over here, because I knew they had what I needed. You know what I'm saying? Making grown decisions. So if I would have waited my life, man, I'd still be waiting. There'd be things I'd still be waiting for at 16 years old, waiting on people. I've always had to go and get it myself. So that's a nice goal. But I also understand the fact that it may not happen if I wait on Netflix. I need to make more noise to where Netflix comes and see what I'm doing. Now I go to Netflix. Netflix comes to me. Yo, who is this guy Kree Russian we've been hearing about?
Right.
We've been seeing his skits. We've been seeing it. We need to go over there and see what's going on. That's what you do. Most people burn out because they try to hike the hill of Hollywood, and it's endless. The hill of Hollywood it's a treadmill. You know, you just climb and it's endless. So instead of going to Hollywood, you need to make Hollywood come to you. You need to work and you need to grind and you need to make sure that your legend reaches past you, because now you can do that. You know?
Yeah.
Some kid falls and, you know, slips and busts his head in China and it gets 1 million views. How do we see it? From the phone. So it works both ways.
Yeah.
Make yours go over there to where now they watching you over in China. Now they watching you over in Greece. Now they watching you over, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's the thing, man. Yes, we want Netflix, but I'm not waiting on Netflix. You
I
know?
understand what you're saying. Yeah, totally. Is there, I mean, I don't know if this is okay to ask, but like, can you do some new stuff with us? Can you like break it up or just like do a little comedy set right now?
Ooh,
Is that something that
that's
like you
a
could do on the fly?
That's a tough one. I mean, I could.
Or is there anything you've been working on that you want to try?
I'm working on some things, man, but I don't want to just do it just yet, because then if they see me in public, they be like, "We heard that already." I'm trying to think of what I could give you guys, man.
Give us old stuff.
That's a tough one. Even the old stuff, man, because I'm still using some of the old stuff, man. I am.
Well, because we want to promote this. Let's do
okay.
something funny. Let's bust something out, and then
Let's
we'll be
see.
able to like.
Okay.
Maybe this will be the thing that
Well,
Netflix or Hollywood sees.
You never know.
You don't know.
You never know.
Right?
Okay, so I'll touch on a little more, right? I talked about online dating. I said online dating was a fiasco for me, right? Because I read my profile back to myself and I sounded like Will Smith and I'm Legend. It was like, please, if there's anyone out there, I can provide food, I can provide shelter, I can provide half the rent, you know? And then and then as well, I noticed my standards was getting low because I caught myself checking out a homeless woman at a red light. And I was just checking out a homeless woman. I was checking her out like how your old uncle checks out an old school car. Like, that's not bad. A little bit of work. She'll be right by summer. You know? Then I started talking to myself. I said, how would I even holler at a homeless chick? Because you don't have to be smooth. You can come with the bare necessities and be the man. Like, what's up, girl? Got that food and water at the house? You got a bed? When the last time you slept in a bed? Tempur-Pedic if you need it. Or do I approach her like a wounded animal with food? I'm like, it's okay. It's okay. Leave a whole trail. You know, all the way to the house. You're mine now. I rescued you. You know?
When you like host, when you like, you're really good at that hosting, and like that's when I saw you in that weird like back alley. I mean, I'm sure you've played some crazy ass places, but that was one of them.
You know what? The top tier, I did an abandoned building in downtown LA. Like we had to step over like crack pipes and crackheads, and we went all the way to the top. We went all the way to the roof to have it, and it was a little less abandoned at the top. But I was like, if there's a fire, we are done. This will be the downtown LA comedian massacre. There'll be like 14 comedians burned to death from a crack pipe that got loose. You know what I'm saying?
My
but
God.
that was one of the greatest experiences. That's when I was like, yo, and that was during like the shutdown. So I'm like, man, I'm out here risking COVID. I'm out here risking hepatitis and lockjaw. And we done climbed through this window, and I done stepped on like 10 crack pipes to get to this. And that's when I was like, oh yeah, we really love this. We really love, and there's no power either. So it's dark. You only have the sunlight that's shining through shattered windows, and you climb and climb and climb, and we climbed all the way. And I was like, this just seems like the start of a bad B horror movie. Like I was like, nobody knows we're here. We just gonna risk it all. All of us is ready to die over this comedy. So that was one of my definitely jankiest shows where it was a quiet ride home. I was like, what did I just do?
Where was I?
I really was like, I can't get to the shower quick enough.
Oh my God.
I gotta scrub this off of me. I don't know if you ever been in an abandoned building in LA, but it is a cornucopia of germs. It is an incubator of just, you like, this is,
You're like, is that urine? What's a little urine?
That. You know it's urine. You know it's urine. With a pile of doo-doo to go with it. It was a whole combo.
Oh my God,
know. You just know, and you can't make a face because that's somebody's home. You got to respect it, you know, or else the whole clan of homeless people just band together, and the next thing you know, you're getting hit with recycled bottles and carts, and you know what I'm saying? So,
has anybody ever thrown anything on stage?
Oh man, I wish,
really?
Man. That way I could cut loose. Give me an excuse. Like, I don't know where this whole like Will Smith of audience members and Dave Chappelle texts come from.
What's up with this?
I've never had. I wish it would happen to me. I really
Why?
do.
No, but you
Which
know-
that would make good publicity because
No,
none of these comedians are really like. Because you run up on me, something's getting broke. Something's getting a jaw, a nose, and they'll be like, oh my goodness, he's really from where he say he's from. You know what I'm saying?
on that front, that is something that I think a lot of comedians thought about when this happened was, does that mean that it's kind of giving people, if they don't like a joke, that they can just run up and punch somebody?
You know what? I say this. It's not that it's just now happening. It's just now getting recorded. That's all it is. These smaller shows, this definitely has happened. I did one in Hollywood that it got out of hand, and I was just like, yeah, this is about right. You see where we're at? Like, it looks nice, but the surrounding area is still very much run up and punch you. So it's not that it's new. It's just that it's now getting filmed. That's all it is. It's not new. It's just now getting filmed.
Because, I think years ago, and there was a documentary about it called Heckler. I don't know if you ever saw it.
No, I have to check that out.
They had a ton of comedians on, and it was a documentary, and it was how they dealt with people heckling them.
I'm gonna have to check that. It says called Heckler.
Uh huh.
Yeah, I'll check.
And it was fascinating, but now it's, I mean, it just seems like this is a whole nother thing that's thrown into the mix.
Do you get heckled ever?
A couple people have tried it. People kind of know better now.
Yeah.
I've kind of paid my dues, but you've always got that one person, and you have to make an example of them. A heckler is like an open wound, and if you don't secure it, you will bleed out on stage. Because if you don't get that person, then this person has something to say. Then this person thinks they could take you. Then
How do you shut it down?
Oh man, you gotta. You know what? I don't know how to put it without it sounding gruesome. It has to be like a shotgun headshot, like obliterated, blam. You have to come back with a joke that's so vicious and so cold that this person says, well, wait, this ain't my best outfit. Let me not say nothing. Let me be quiet. It has to be like that, man. I remember there was this one girl, man, she had on, it was like a pleather jacket, right? And she was trying to heckle me. And I was like, if you don't shut up wearing that big glad bag with strings on it, it was, and I had to get her. It was, and once I did that, it was like everybody else was like, let us be quiet, Yeah. Now she over here taking the jacket off, trying to fold it and sit on it, So it has to be like that with hecklers, but that's also a part of the game. One thing you have to realize about this game is you cannot take nothing personal. Right. It's not personal. It's not. You just the person on the stage that is happening to. But it's not. If it wasn't Chris Rock that was going to get slapped, it was going to be Kevin Hart that got slapped. It was going to be somebody else that got. It was just that time, and I don't even think it was for that moment. This man he been going through something. So it's obviously that's a lot of times the things that happen to you or that people bring to your table, it's not even something that you did. It's something that they dealing with in their life.
Right.
Yeah. That's something that he dealing with. That's not, and if anything, it wasn't a big deal to me. People get slapped every day. He'll be all right. You didn't got slapped by his mama.
It wasn't a big deal? You didn't
It wasn't a big
You don't think it hurt Chris Rock at all?
It's like, people get slapped every single day. We got bigger problems. That's not the first time he got slapped. It's not going to be the last time he got slapped.
Do you know how many times Laura slaps me?
That's what I'm saying. Front hand, back hand. I can tell. I can tell.
Yeah. It happens frequently.
But you know what I'm saying? I just feel like there's so many other things going. Like that thing broke the internet. That's what bothered me.
Oh, yeah.
And when something breaks the internet, like, because I'll be honest with you, I'm 2 YouTube videos away from a tinfoil hat. And I'm talking about like fedora tinfoil cocked. I'm a conspiracy theorist all the way.
Really?
So when something breaks the internet that's really not that important, I'm like, what are they hiding? What's really going on? Because people get slapped every day. And then the way it kind of shifted. Because before that, it was all about what's going on, with Ukraine. Right. And then Chris Rock gets slapped, and now you don't hear no more about that. And you don't hear no more about COVID. And you don't hear no more about...
Tell me what other conspiracy theories do you believe in?
Well, I don't want to come up missing... But
wow!
I don't want to come up missing, but that's definitely something where I won't say it pertains to a specific conspiracy, but I feel like when something breaks the internet, that's really not that big of a deal. There's something else that's being hidden. That's what I feel.
Like who's hiding it?
I don't know. I don't want to meet them. I don't want to meet them.
Right?
I'm just trying to get enough money to where I can build my bunker.
Yeah. Right?
I'm just saying, when it all pops off, people are gonna need a leader with a good beard.
Yeah.
I feel like I could be like the Black Rick Grimes. You know what I'm saying? And just,
Well, you would lead with positivity and giving back. That's what we need.
to a certain extent. This is
Okay.
the apocalypse we're talking about here. So, if you don't want to take your shift to watch Grain, somebody's definitely probably gonna get shot, like in front of everybody too. Anybody else want to not watch Grain? Okay, let's get back to this Christmas play. Like I would definitely rule with an iron fist. This positive Kree is not apocalypse Kree, because you got to keep a tight. It only takes one person to get the crops just burnt to the ground.
Out of 10 shows, how many shows do you think you bomb? Do you bomb any?
Oh man, you know what? There was one, and it was bad. It was at a retirement home.
Oh, okay. Well, there's
there's
that.
But here's the thing. I thought I was gonna be doing like the assisted living, like G-pop, and they still lively and want to like hug you and bake cookies. This was for hospice.
Oh, jeez.
So they on their way out. You know what I'm saying? If life is a movie, they're at the credits, and we're not talking about the ones in the beginning either. You know what I'm saying? So it was like they don't want to be. You don't want to hear no young punk whose legs work still, and he's up there telling jokes, and they couldn't hear me, and it was bad because one guy.
That's brutal.
Oh, it gets worse.
Wow.
There was one guy in a wheelchair, and this is when I knew it was going real bad. He tried to stand up.
Oh,
He tried to stand up, and and all the caregivers, like, they jumped back, and one was like, he hasn't done that in 10 years.
Oh, no.
And I was like, oh, it's that bad, the way he tried to muster the strength. He's like, I know I can't walk, but I won't stand for this. Like, that's when I knew. Once again, quiet ride home. It was like, oh Lord, like, is this what you want from me? How's this supposed to be going? But that was definitely but I learned a valuable lesson that day. No matter how bad it's going, right? You got 3 options when it's going bad. You got 3 options. One, you can acknowledge it's going bad, which people respect. That brings a laugh.
Yeah, that does bring a laugh.
Man, y'all didn't like that one. That brings a laugh. You got to acknowledge it. 2, you can, if it merits it and you're able to, give the room back its time. If I'm supposed to do 8 and I see it's going wrong at 5, give them that 3 back, bruh. Because
cut it short.
Cut it short. Get yourself out. Good night. You know what I'm saying? Get out of there. Or if you can't do that, if that's not an option, keep rolling. Because I was paid for 30 minutes, and I did 30 minutes, and it was a long 30 minutes. It felt like my tie got tight, my gums got dry, and the walls was closing in, and it just seemed like, it just felt like all the elders were bigger than me. Like, it was just like.
Have you ever been on stage where you're doing your set and you blank out?
Oh yeah. Man, this imagination is wild, especially if something happens. Like, we had one lady, she was heckling, and she was really rude, and all of a sudden her stool breaks out of nowhere.
That
it just broke. And it wasn't just any stool. It was one of those like metal industrial, like factory steel stools.
Damn.
That's not supposed to break. And she wasn't a heavy lady either. It just broke. And I was like, look at God. Like, you can't tell me God doesn't exist. That stool is supposed to survive an atomic bomb, and it just couldn't bear the weight of rudeness.
Yeah.
So screw the joke after that. Now we have to address this and what we've just seen, because sometimes what's happening in the moment is better than routine. Yeah, I got a good routine, but I got to address that. That is hilarious.
You're like, your black heart was so heavy.
Man, what? It just what under the stool? Like, what? Like, it just, and it was random too. It wasn't like it gave like a giving squeak or something before. It just bam, just disintegrated.
I would have not been able to stop laughing.
Oh, we all fell out. Especially since she was so rude. Because I was close to last. It was about like 8 comics. I think I was like number 6 or 7. And she had been giving everybody the blues. And people kind of didn't want to go back and forth with her. She was an elder and stuff like that. But I'm the type of person, if you manly enough to say it, you can definitely, if you can dish it, you can take it. I had a handicapped dude try to heckle me one time. Like, I'm talking gimpy walk, everything, like slurred speech. And I went back with him. I had to.
Did?
Everybody was like, oh. And I was like, he threw the first punch. Come on, y'all. Y'all know where we at. Equality. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So,
right.
Because he cussed me out. It's on my YouTube, man, if y'all ever want to check it out.
God,
Oh, definitely.
It's literally titled Kree Rushing, and then dash anybody can get it. And so, and it was funny. We ended up being cool after that, man. But yeah, I'm not gonna baby him for, you know what I'm saying? Because he probably been getting babied his whole life. And if it's one thing I know, especially working in that field, they don't want to be babied. They want to be treated. They want their independence.
Yeah.
So he came there for a good show and to throw a jab. I threw a jab right back. Nothing crazy, of course not. But, it was all in good fun. All in good fun.
Well, it's funny because in this documentary that I was telling you about, the hecklers always look like the a-holes. You know, I mean, most of the people around them are like,
Yeah.
oh, come on.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a paper when you go up on stage ever? Do you look at notes?
No. Sometimes I'll write it down on my phone. If it's brand new and I really want to get like crowd response, sometimes I have notes on my phone. But for the most part, I try not to because I don't want to take nothing away. When I see other comedians do it, they spend so much time looking down at their phone that it almost takes away from the experience. People want to see you. They want to, when you connect with somebody in the audience, you can almost see them light up like, yo, he's talking to me right now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like it takes away from the experience when you put your head down or you start searching. Because there's been times where I had some notes and I couldn't find the joke that I wanted to reference. And I just said, screw it. Okay, we're just going, because I'm not going to sit there and try to find it, because then people are going to be looking at you like, what are you doing? It takes away from the experience. So you just kind of just keep rolling with it. But I try not to. I try not to have anything up there with me. For the most part, my phone is recording. Either my phone's getting video or it's getting audio. But I try not to have anything with me because you never know, man. When Netflix calls, you're not going to have your notes. You're not going to have, you might be somewhere in a coffee shop and there's 3 execs and they like, go.
Yeah.
What you going to do? You know, you always got to be ready.
Well, I think that's part of the beauty of comedy is it never seems that it's written, you know, that it's very off the cuff. It's very honest. It's very,
But is that something that you practice? Like, do you practice a
Oh, you
30-minute
have to.
set and
Yeah.
are you completely prepared or is it off the cuff?
Somewhat. You practice somewhat, but I'm funny everywhere. So I could be talking to somebody in the line at Walmart and I've said something that made them laugh, and I'm like, "Oh, that's a good one. Let me go ahead and, make a note of that."
Yeah.
I try, and it comes off as basic conversation, but I've tried plenty of jokes out in bits and things. I say stuff to try to see how people react. If I'm in a long line, I say something out loud to see if it gets a snicker. Like, man, this line longer than Jesus' hair. Say something groovy. If it makes somebody laugh or somebody smart, I'm like, okay, that's a good one to keep. Okay, that's something to write down.
Okay.
That's something. But I mean, I don't practice it I practice, but not too much, man, because I want it to be natural. I want it to be like a conversation. I want it to be that like funny friend that you're with. I want it to be intimate. But at the same time, I don't want it to be too rugged because I respect the art. You know what I'm saying? I don't want it to just be all rugged and it's not formatted. I want even other comedians to be able to see me and be like, yo, that was a good set. Everything was formed. His callback jokes and, his rule of 3 and things like that. I want it to be to where it could be respected on both ends.
What's the rule of 3?
Oh man, there's a couple of them. There's like it could be like normal, extreme. So you could say, oh, I knew the relationship was over when she started texting other people and started coming home late and she started shooting at me. You know what I'm saying? Like it's one of those where it's like it starts off something so minimal and then it gets big, or it could be 2 extremes and then a small. So it's like that, or just. They say that rule of 3 for comedy, if you're going to build up to a joke and you'll say, it'll have like 3 openings before the actual joke. So things like that, man, that just other comedians can see and respect. And it helps you. It's an art form. So you should study. You should read. You should study who's a great to you. Not so you could be just like them, but so that you can see how they took something and made it their own and then you make it your own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Will you stand up and do your fun dance? I love when you post this on Insta. It makes me so happy.
No, there's not enough space. There's no music.
Right there.
No, I'm not.
I'm going
doing
to
it.
take out my
I am
phone.
not doing it. No,
You are so cute when you
She's
do
really
it.
Listen, bossy.
I'm in my coveralls.
I am putting on my
I
video.
am not doing it. No, man. You're gonna
This
have a
is
video
what-
of me sitting.
Look.
You have a video of me sitting.
Netflix is
I'm
going to
Netflix is not.
Netflix is going
No,
to
ma'am.
somehow come upon
No,
this
ma'am.
podcast.
Listen, you my girl in a bag of pearls, but it is not happening in this little space. It's not.
Because there's not enough room?
No, it's just not the invite. This is not it.
It's not the vibe?
It's not the vibe. There's a vibe to it, an essence. You don't just set up a pole and be like, hey, strip. You don't do that. There's a vibe.
Well, now let's not,
Come on. I thought that was something that's your
no.
little signature move.
It is my signature. Now, I will say it definitely is my signature, but I've been doing that since the 5th grade. That's always been my thing,
Well, then why
But
can't you do it
it's
right
just-
now?
I'm
That's crazy.
like right here. No.
I would. Okay, you know
No,
what?
there's
Mother's
no-
Day was on Sunday. And
She's working every angle.
I feel
Kree.
like you respect a good mother.
I do.
And
I do.
I feel like I'm a
do.
good mother. And
Just wish her
That
a happy
is-
belated Mother's Day.
That is right. Happy belated Mother's Day.
thank you.
You're amazing. You are great. You
Remember-
are wonderful.
What you said about giving,
Yes.
that would be great if you gave me that little.
I already gave you the greatest gift, and that is time. You can't get that back. You can always get this dance anytime, but time, watch this. That second gone, never getting it back. And I give to you.
Hey, Kane.
It's true.
Kane.
It's true. You gave me what?
Sorry to interrupt, but I'm starting to sweat again.
Oh God. Come on. All right, then look up Kree Rushing on Instagram
And look up his dance.
His little dances make you so happy. They'll make you smile.
Before you go, there was a question that you were building up to about, you said hosting.
Yeah.
I remembered. I wanted to hear what you were going to say, because you said you saw me hosting in that janky basement that had the crazy vent that could have fell on
And
anybody.
you were so good. You were
anytime.
so off the cuff, and it was like it seemed easy to you to do that. And is that something like you might want to do for? I mean, do you like doing the hosting more than doing a set? Is that something you enjoy?
They both have their pros. So I like headlining, not to be all about. But
Is that where the money is?
It's not even just that. When you have more time, the jokes are different. I could walk you guys down to the funny. When you kind of only got 10 minutes, like, okay, get there now. But when you have that time, you could take your time and you can really, like, it's just different. You could really get there instead of just being on a time crunch. Like, oh, there's the light. 15 minutes, okay. 30 minutes, man. Now I have time to really build my storytelling jokes. But with hosting, I like hosting as well, because it's like you keep coming back. You keep coming back and things are happening. So now when a comedian gets off and you're coming back to host and introduce the next one, now you have new stuff to talk about. And it's all about you keeping the energy up. In case that last comedian didn't do what they were supposed to do, then you keep the energy up. So I love both. But I mean, if I could choose between, opening or doing 10 minutes, I always want a headline. I always do.
What was the most lucrative gig you've had?
Oh man, what's funny? It's not even like the clubs. It's mostly doing these events for shout out to Gil Sotu. Gil Sotu does a lot of good stuff around the city. He's got a couple events, one called Be About It, where he partners artists with nonprofits and things like that. The clean sets and the clean gigs, those are the most lucrative. Until you start building up and becoming a household name, then the clubs become, more lucrative. But for the most part, these churches and these clean non-prof gigs, those are the most lucrative. So those, I don't want to say any prices just in case he hasn't blessed the same people with that same number.
Yeah,
You know what
I
I'm saying?
understand. Yeah,
Just,
totally.
Then it's like, get your hand on my wallet. But but those are the best, and it is just rewarding too, man. I love clean comedy because it has its own special lane. Anybody can make sex funny. It's already fun. The act itself is goofy. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like the act itself is, and there's so many ways it can go wrong, especially on the male side. You know what I'm saying? My man ain't hollering at me today. I don't know what's going on. There's so many things that you can make funny, but to be clean and to not curse and to steal and not be corny.
That's
I'm not
harder
a corny.
then, huh?
I'm not a corny comic. I don't want to be one of these diddly do like the flounders.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't want to be that, because clean comics always get that stigma attached to them. Like, oh, he clean, he's corny. No, I'm hitting just as hard.
Angela Johnson is hilarious, and she's clean.
Angela Johnson.
She does the nail salon.
Let me see.
Oh my God, she is hilarious.
It
You
must
know
be
who
hard to
Angela
do
Johnson
clean
is?
comedy. That must be a
She's
little bit more
really,
difficult.
really funny, and she does really clean comedy.
It forces you to
hilarious.
pull from somewhere else, and that's what
Yeah.
I like. I had a teacher that was close to me, Vernell Cole, Mr. Cole. He was more like your uncle than a teacher. He gave me way more than any course could ever taught me. He taught me about life, and he said, profanity is a crutch for those that fail to express themselves. But I mean, at the same time, he cussed you out. But anyway, but what's funny was I always thought about that, and I was like, okay, and I applied my comedy to that. Like, okay, I don't have to be vulgar. I don't have to do this. I can still get there, and I can get there and be funny. I just need to work a little harder. I just got to use my imagination a little more to get there. And that's what's going to set me apart from everybody else. Because like I said, anybody can be vulgar and it'd be funny. It gets laughs. It's like a fart. A fart always gets laughs, except for in the elevator, because now you got to smell it. It's right there. But a fart in a bank, oh, it's going down. No matter how stressful it is, everybody's going to be like, huh.
When I have farted around Laura, it gets nothing but laughter.
Oh God, stop.
Always.
These are the worst.
100%.
And you're a man of God. That's why you are a clean comic. And you
But do you...
I would like to think I would still be, even if I wasn't. I would hope that I would still be. Because I don't like when you say a man of God, like I'm not the typical like, oh, let us pray. And no, somebody will get slapped first and then we'll pray for you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, forgive me if I wasn't supposed to slap them, but you hear me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not one of those. Once again, I'm not corny. I live by a different set of morals that I need to be put in check. This imagination that's also good has a lot of crazy stuff going on. You get what I'm saying? And it keeps me in check. It keeps me in balance, because if not, who knows what I'd be doing? If I didn't think that there was a higher power to answer to, I'd probably be living reckless. And that's just me being honest. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because for a long time, I didn't think to always live a righteous life or to get things legally, because I was surrounded by people that was doing illegal activities and they looked like they were thriving. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But when you think about what I said, you get out what you put in. So they out here robbing. Next thing you know, their family started getting robbed. They out here selling drugs. Next thing you know, their favorite auntie's on drugs. Wow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Things that was happening, even if it doesn't happen to you directly, it's going to happen to somebody that's close to you, and it's going to affect you. Now you have to look that spirit in the face. Now you have to deal with what you've sown and what you've put out and who you've hurt. It's going to come back. I don't care who you are. You pay for it in this life or the next. I'm a firm believer in
karma.
That. So I wouldn't even say karma, because I feel like karma leaves a gap. I really do. I feel like karma kind of leaves a gap open. And I can't explain why. I just always felt like that left a gap open. I don't have any reasoning behind it, because it sounds just like you reap what you sow. It sounds just like it, but I always felt like there was a gap. I just felt like when you say this is going to happen, regardless. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, because I don't know if karma mentions the afterlife. Does karma mention the afterlife?
No.
I don't exactly. So you may think that you may be 80 years old thinking you got away with it. You know what I'm saying? On your deathbed, like, oh, we had a good run. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so that's why I think like there's a gap. Oh, look at that, man. You just helped me get there. That's why I feel like the gap is, because I do believe there's an afterlife. Science says that what? Energy can't be destroyed nor created. So what happens to this energy that's in me?
What do you think happens to it?
What happens to it?
Do you know? Do you think you know?
I believe you go somewhere and there's going to be somebody waiting. I'll say that. You're going to go somewhere and there's going to be somebody waiting like, we need to talk. But I firmly believe that, because this is just that, right? The nerves that it takes to send from my brain, tell my hand, ain't do this. That's magic. That's energy. That's electricity.
You're right. Where does it go?
Where does it go when you die? Where does it go?
Yeah.
I know where it's going to go when I die.
Where?
I'm going to just hover around you.
You are.
Like Casper the Ghost. Yeah. I don't plan on dying for a while.
I wish you could pick what you did like that. Like, I wish you could pick somebody. Like, they could ask you, like, hey, who'd you want? Because there's a couple bullies that could definitely get, like, their glasses knocked over for the rest of it.
There's only a couple people on my list, and I would just make their lives miserable.
Right.
Oh,
right.
yeah.
As you should.
But in the afterlife, you're not thinking like that. You're more like higher. You're
I would
higher
like
level.
to think I would still be myself.
Yes, I would totally be
'Cause
highbrow.
I'm not going to lie. That's one thing I
Are
definitely
you
got to work
floating?
on.
Are you like...
I want revenge. That's one thing I have to work on. Like, when I get cut off on the freeway, I have to talk to myself like, Kree, let it go. Let it go. Because I always want revenge. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a person that wants, if you do something to me, I always want to do something either equal or greater. And that's how you can't be like that.
No, you can't.
You'll drive yourself crazy.
I'd make sure there was lots of fresh dog poop right at the front door.
Oh, God. That would be perfect.
You got to get it out the bag, though. That way it could just be like, I threw this away. How did this get just
I would do stuff
get it
like
out
that.
the bag? It can't
Hover
be fresh
around,
on the
break
pad.
things,
It has to be
light things on
poop
fire.
that was accounted for. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, this
I
is in the
might get it
bottom of
from
the trash.
other houses.
Exactly. I don't even have a dog. How did this happen? That now you're onto something.
I didn't know there was elephants around here. What?
Oh my
this is
God.
Crazy.
No,
Yeah.
see, now you're being greedy because that's too big to like hover.
Oh, I'd
it's
figure
just
it out.
hovering, Like
I'd figure
somebody's
it out.
gonna notice there's a piece of
I
doo-doo
just
hovering
snap
on
my
the
fingers
5.
like that and bring it right over.
Oh, so now we're genies. I thought we were just ghosts. I thought we were just
We're hovering,
ghosts,
we're
man.
flying.
Well,
What are we doing?
We could do anything.
You got to pick your ghost superpower, okay, and stick with it. I'm thinking you got to physically pick it up and move it. I was like,
I
man,
do
those
that.
zookeepers are gonna have fun with that surveillance footage.
Yeah,
Look, it's
I
just
know.
floating.
Like,
It's just floating right there, all the way out the
giant
gate.
pile.
Just giant pile floating out the gate. What do we do?
Don't touch it.
Kree, it's been so great having you on. I love that you just talk about positivity and giving back.
Got
It's so
to.
great.
Got
I
to.
love it. And it's so true. Is there anything you want to say to end this?
Yes,
On a-
most definitely,
Okay.
man. I'm pretty sure I say this. This is something I always say, but I don't care what it is that you want to do in life. If it's your passion, if you truly believe it's your calling, do it. I don't care if you want to be a solar panel on a roof. You be the best solar panel you can and turn with the sun, do whatever it is. Because at the end of the day, you are the only one that's going to be responsible for how you lived your life and how you spent your time. So do it doing something that you love, because once we're out of here, we're out of here.
Hey, Nick, go get my pole.
Wait. You don't have it with you?
Well, it's in my trunk, and I'm.
Is that what we call it now? Okay.
See, look, you could maybe invent the first, like, it looks like a blind man cane, but it's like a strong stripper pole
Oh, man.
for like anything on it. Exactly.
Yeah.
Bam. Daredevil stripper. Bam. You know what I'm saying?
like,
Like,
hooks to the
I'm
ceiling.
saying, man, for anything. Because look, then you'd be able to like maneuver around. You know, you get hired for like a private gig at an office. And they think that you're just like the tech guy, and then bam, and music come on. Like, I'm telling you. And then if it's a Bluetooth pole or something,
My God, that you could sync to your phone and
that's
have your.
what I'm
There you
saying.
go.
See, mine's
Telling
pour
you.
some sugar on me.
See?
Oh God, Eric. Who's going to
Don't
see
let
you
Elon
on
Musk
a
hear
pole?
this.
What?
Who's going to want to see you
Oh,
grinding on a pole?
So many, like tens of people.
Listen, all I'm gonna say is, if you get paid, I need my cut. That's all I'm
Listen,
gonna say.
Right.
That,
I need my
that is
cut
genius.
because
I
that
will
was
cut
birthed
you in.
right here. It
For
was birthed
sure.
right here.
I will do it.
We say something at the end of our podcast, and I say it first, and then will you say it after? Will you lock out with us?
Of course.
In the meantime, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check out our Amazon store. Check out our Instagram, our Facebook, our bio. There are links on there. And Nick, thank you so much for being our co-host this week. We loved it. And Daniel, thank you for being our producer on the
you,
fly.
Daniel.
It was great. And with that, love your podcast.
Love your podcast.
Love your podcast.
I'm too busy with Instagram. Love your podcast.
Love you, my sweet babies. Bye.